Our next question comes from the line of Matthew Putterman. Your line is now live.
Hey, Tywan. Matthew Putterman from MyMMAnews.com. What was your biggest takeaway from your fight with Emmanuel Sanchez?
Don't force wrestling. Don't force wrestling, and then that I need to be a swordsman. There's a long sword and there's a short sword, and I needed to have both. I only have one. I now have both. When you have both, you can be a little bit more comfortable. And then, it's just being comfortable in, like I said, the long distance and the short distance. I'm comfortable in both. I don't need to force my wrestling. I am prepared to stand and bang for 15 minutes if absolutely necessary, and positioning and just not settling in any bad positions. So that Sanchez fight taught me a lot. That was invaluable, 9 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever that I spent in the cage with him. So I'm grateful for that fight. And I just know how to really balance my energy and conserve, my energy to really get to the end of every fight, no matter how rough or how tough it is.
And I asked a lot of the other guys before too, but obviously now suffering your first loss as a professional, what motivates you more, coming off of a loss or coming off of a win from a fighter's perspective?
Well, definitely coming off a loss. I mean, you got beat up in front of the whole world. So, that's as much motivation as you need to get back in the gym and start training again and rebuild yourself back up. And I feel like that's what I'm doing right now. I'm back on the building process. And I've taken the steps necessary to really go out there and show that I'm on a different level.
And as you see, the Bellator Featherweight World Grand Prix is kind of like on a pause at the moment. And once that comes back and once it resumes, who do you have winning the tournament?
Who do I have winning it?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't even know who's in the tournament anymore that I'm not in it. So I don't really pay attention to it that much. For me, it's all about, I've never been a fan. I've never been a fan of anything that I'm competing in. I never watch anything that I compete in. I literally just started watching fights, 2 or 3 months ago. So I like Caldwell, man. I like Caldwell because I seen him beat Metcalf at the NCAA finals. So that's a name that I know. That's a name that I'll roll with.
My last question for you is, what's your biggest attribute as a fighter?
Probably my good looks. No, I'm joking. If I'd probably have to say, at this point, it will probably be athleticism, but my IQ is a close second. I have a pretty big IQ already outside the cage, and it's starting to translate over inside. And so I think as I get more experience, my IQ is going to be what sets me apart from all the rest of these guys. But right now, I think it's a little bit of, athleticism and a little bit of the IQ put together.
That's all I got for you. Thank you very much, man.